This show is sponsored by Singles Sealed Memorabilia. Find them on Instagram at Singles Sealed Memorabilia and on eBay at Singles and Sealed. Turning their collecting hobby and passion into a shop dream, bringing a variation of wrestling cards to collectors all around the world. They make their own mystery bundles and bring unusual cards to the graded scene. They have 100% positive eBay customer feedback with over 3,000 sales. We do thank Single Sealed Memorabilia for the continued support of the Squared Circle Relics Podcast.
And now, presenting from across the pond, it's the Squared Circle Relics Podcast.
Before we start today's little show of ours, I just would like to give a little warning on today's episode. We may be covering content that is quite racy and quite filthy at times. So I would suggest if you have any little ones hanging about, please maybe put your headphones in and really just keep this away from the kids, because I'd feel bad otherwise. And a massive sorry to Margaret all the way through this episode. We're going to be talking about a lot of shit on people's heads. Anyway, with that being said, welcome to episode 42, the Meaning of Life episode. Jamie's not around this week. He's on holiday. He'll be back next time round. But I'm here with Chris. Chris, hello.
Hello.
Hello, you right?
Good? Yeah, I'm all good.
Good. So we thought the best thing to do would be to reach out and ask a couple of friends if they'd like to come on to this week's episode. And we did. And I can't believe the first person that we got. I can't believe it. Ohio State's national treasure. A consummate professional. A loving father. Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother. It's Jason Kelsey.
Dave.
No?
Dave.
No?
We couldn't get him.
Oh,
He's
okay.
really busy.
Okay, sorry.
Super busy.
What? All right now. What about Travis Kelsey?
Even busier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So who do we know called Travis in Ohio who fills all the other quotas? He's a good musician as well. I know. Travis Fowler. There you go.
Thank you.
Hello, buddy.
For that warm introduction. Officially, Ohio's second coolest Travis.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
I
Well, he's in Kansas. You're still in Ohio. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Ohio's honorary coolest Travis. Thank you.
And we also have another guest on today as well. Our favourite Mook. Our second favourite Tancredi. It's Johnny.
Wow. That hurts.
Well, at least it's not Danny.
I mean, that's not saying much, but these days. But yeah, hey, Johnny Tancredi here from CFP.
How's Michael doing? Is he all right?
Michael's good. Me and Michael and I did a card show this morning.
Oh, wow.
We had a table set up. We vended a nice little card show this morning, and we got the text from Danny at 1:45 last night saying, "Not going to make it tomorrow, boys." It's all right. We weren't saving a chair for you anyway. So,
wow.
No bacon, egg, and cheese this morning for him?
Not for him. Oh, maybe when he woke up at 11 o'clock, but not with us.
He's going through his 20s, his early 20s again. Very early 20s. Bless him.
I live through him now.
I wish I would too.
Yep.
Other than that, we all good, boys? All happy?
Yeah, all good over here.
All good.
How about
Good.
you, Dave?
Oh, I'm living the dream, me. Fucking breaking cars and losing money all over the fucking shop. But yeah, it's all good. Stories for another day, I think. But, well, to be honest, we've got so much to get through this week because the wrestling world, maybe not necessarily the card world, but the wrestling world has gone fucking bonkers. So we're going to be covering all of that today. I wish I wasn't, to be honest, because it's just sickening to do so. But we will, and we'll try not to linger on some of the stuff either. Normally we say what we've been watching, but there's only one thing to talk about, really. The Royalist Rumblers. Oh, well, 1 second. Chris has got his kids coming in to say hello.
Surprise entrance.
Goodbye. Yeah, surprise entrance.
Sorry, yeah, running. My bad.
Royal Rumble. We all saw the Royal Rumble. All caught up on the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Spoilers, everyone. Yeah.
Did you guys watch it? Yeah.
Spoilers,
Yep,
it ended
watched it live
last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Early
I didn't
morning
watch it
for you
this
guys.
morning.
You guys.
Same. Yeah, I didn't watch
Yeah.
it till this morning. I tried to stay up and failed miserably. So
No, I was down quite early last night, and I couldn't get up for it. So, but it was good to watch it. I mean, DTP chat was talking all about it this morning, so I kind of knew what was going to happen before I watched it. Thank you, boys.
no, I didn't look at anything. Didn't look at anything.
I really
Did really well. Yeah.
I should have done that. But are we surprised? I mean, let's talk about the Women's Royal Rumble first. That was the first up, right? I think pretty much everyone here thought it was going to be Bayley, right? Johnny,
Yeah.
did you say Jade? Chris, did you say Jade? I can't remember.
I said Sasha.
I thought Becky.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Oh, Becky. Oh, God.
But
Yeah,
like the
I thought
logical
with the
pick
whole-
was Bayley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought with
It
the
would've
whole
been
Rhea
cool.
Ripley thing, I thought that would have been like the choice they made with the obvious, then her kind of calling her out. I don't know if that needs the Rumble win though right now, so I'm fine with it. I think ultimately that's where they're going to go with that rivalry. But yeah, Bayley.
I think we still may get it. I think Bayley, she even on X or Twitter last night, Rhea, I'm coming after you. I think we're going to see a good old Vince Russo swerve and have her say that, kind of like what Batista did. I'm going to pick, I'm whoever, and then he ended up picking Triple H. I think Bayley's going to pick Io, and we still may get like Becky and Rhea.
Honestly, that's exactly what I think. I mean, this is obviously leading towards the demise of the faction. I mean, that's got to be what they're doing, right?
There was bits in it where she was a bit like appalled by their actions, kind of thing, and it was obviously hedging that way. But to be honest, when it comes to Bayley, I've never really cared. To be honest, I think you're a Bayley fan or not a Bayley fan, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with her.
She's my least favorite 4 horsewomen. I hate to.
Yeah,
of the 4, she's.
I think same.
Yes.
The thing is, if she wins the title again, it's no big shakes, really, is it? To be honest.
It was cool that she got the accolades because she's had everything else, kind of what they had talked about, the NXT, the tag, the heavyweight. So, I mean, it was, I guess, nice to add. I mean, if you can have a resume, it'll look good on the back of a card soon. Hey, these are all her accomplishments.
I'm not a massive fan of giving people big for the sake. I won't say for the sake of it, because she's obviously earned it because of all that she's done there. But that match for me adds, where if against Rio or if it's against Io, which I'm sure it will be, it adds nothing to WrestleMania. It will be a match. It'll happen. I'm sure Bayley will probably win the title. Would anyone care? It's not. I think more so is because Bayley's been there for so many years, and she's won so many titles as well. It doesn't really mean much, to be honest.
I agree.
It would have been more interesting, I think, if they'd given it to Jace.
They did that right with being just outside of Tampa in front of that big crowd. Made her look like $1 million last night. And she didn't do much other than a couple, didn't look too green. But I thought.
Well, they did a couple interesting matchups, didn't they? Which I'd love to see. They did earlier on, they did Ivy Nile with, oh God, what's her name?
Jordan Grace.
Yes, Jordan Grace.
Yeah, that was a cool sort of matchup, wasn't it?
Cartman. She sounds like Cartman. Ivy Nile, I'm getting home. She definitely But yeah, I think that was good. And then obviously you had Jade comparison with the EST later on.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very well done, to be honest. But we'll see what happens in the future with that. But anything else to cover? I don't think there was many other surprises. There was no Sasha.
No Sasha.
No.
No Sasha.
That was...
Which was yeah. Well, yeah, the glow. She was number one, wasn't she? And she went all the way through. Hello.
You just froze.
You froze, Dave.
I just froze. Sorry. We'll leave it in the show. Fine. Fuck it. Chris is gone now as well on my screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh. So, yes, the other lady from TNA was there as well, wasn't she?
Who's that?
The Jimmy Uso's.
Oh,
Naomi.
Naomi.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I should know her name because I have a super fractor of her somewhere. But ultimately, I think she was great. But I think everyone wanted Sasha, to be honest, didn't they?
I thought she was coming out at 30 instead of Liv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it got to that point, you're like, all right, well, I know it was like Jade Stratton, and well, we might see it, but I didn't have my hopes up too high.
Okay.
I thought Stratton looked like $1 million.
Yeah, she did. I'm not a big fan, but she did really,
That Swanton
she
looked
did
really,
well.
really
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looked really good.
But I don't know. I mean, I would say this before we get into the men's. I actually did enjoy the women's a lot more than I did the men's. I think the pacing was perfect on it. And I was, in retrospect, I think it was just a better match.
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing with the women's that I don't like, and I don't like saying it, but the spot misses that they do on it, like it's very, very visible when they do a spot and they miss it, and it's like, oh, it makes you kind of cringe a bit, doesn't it?
The Maxine Bailey,
There was quite a few.
spin
Yeah.
thing. Bailey's like, what am I supposed to do? And was it Maxine's like just upside down with her arms out? It's like, oh, that was,
It's funny. That's happening as commentary saying like, "Oh, Maxine's done so well improving at the PC," and it's just like, "Oh, wow, that could have been more poorly timed if they tried." Yeah, but
there was one with Naomi and Nia where she was supposed to do like a face smash, and Nia just didn't go down.
Even Naomi's
but she still sold it. It was weird.
Well, Naomi looked like she was trying to do some sort of stuff just before she was eliminated. It looked like she was maybe meant to do something else there and like handstand on the apron or something, and it looked like it went wrong and she just got eliminated. But yeah, there was a few. There was a few.
But I don't know. So I mean, we can go across the Roman Reigns match. To be honest, it was just another typical Roman Reigns match.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're burying LA Knight time and time again throughout, like this run that he's created for himself has just been like shat on by WWE, and I feel really bad for him, to be honest. I don't know. Any thoughts about it? I mean, I fast forwarded it to the end, to be honest.
Yeah, so it was just a bit of a foregone conclusion, wasn't it?
It was all right up until, and it's happened a million times, so I don't know why I was surprised this time. But it was great till Solo came out, and then like I was so into it. I was like, Randy's got this. Like, holy crap! Like, and then off camera, there's Solo. It's like.
Solo would have been great in the Royal Rumble for the men's, to be honest.
Yes.
Like put him in late or something like that. I think, or do 1, 2, 3 the Usos, and then
that'd have been really
three.
cool.
I think that would have been quite fun.
And then Rikishi at number 4.
Rikishi the racist, stick him in. So And then you had the Logan Paul match.
I thought the ending was cool of that.
Yeah.
It was different, like the brass knucks, you know. I mean, it was.
Was it Pat?
I watched it with. And I go on, but
was it Pat or Corey that said, "When does a referee finally get 20/20 vision?" Right there at the end, it's like, I thought the ending was great, but I like, it's like, but it's just another one of those like crap, like.
It's an old school way of ending it without the baby face not looking too bad.
Logan kept his belt and didn't pin him clean.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The end of the match was more confusing than the whole match. They're like, did anyone notice that? Logan's like playing and fidgeting with the Kleenex, and then Kevin Owens grabs the cough drops off of the table. Like, it was really weird how the camera was. Like, you see Logan like fidgeting with this,
try to get
like Kleenexes or something.
Tissue, yeah.
It's weird. Sorry. Sidebar.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It was just, I don't know. It was weird with the Grayson Waller and
Austin.
Was it Austin Theory coming out at the end?
Yeah, with his friend. Like, that was like, I really didn't understand what was going on there.
Yeah, so that's Jeff is his manager. But
do they do the podcast together?
Yeah, but it's his manager.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's never really told clearly on WWE, so you don't really know, unless you know everything about Logan Paul, you don't know who he is really. So they should have kind of explained that better, to be honest.
Yeah, I know who clue the guy was.
Or at all, yeah.
This white T-shirt guy that took forever to walk away. Yeah. I felt like that kind of drug, and I don't know if it was meant to. Like, he's just, well, this is an audio podcast, so nobody sees me doing this, but he's like walking in with like shoulder shrugging for what felt like an eternity.
People can feel you, buddy. People can feel you. Don't worry.
Shoulder shrugging. But it just felt like, I don't know if somebody missed a cue or a timing, or if they were waiting for him to get somewhere, but it just felt like an eternity to get him to go away.
Yeah, it was weird. Anyway, let's go on to the men's. The men's Royal Rumble, I think, was quite good. I think it was quite slow paced at the start, and it was definitely slow paced at the end. The part with the last two at the end just went on forever for me, to be honest. I was like, oh my God. But what are your guys' thoughts? Did you like it, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it was solid, but it wasn't. I think it lacked surprise. We all like a random surprise in there. I mean, you guessed the Pat McAfee bit, but that I didn't enjoy that. Yeah, just wanted at least one more. I know we had Andrade as well, but one more maybe. An old school vet, or I don't know, someone else from TNA or something like that. But CM Punk.
We got Bron.
Bron was amazing in it.
Very good.
Thoroughly impressed with that. Yeah, even Ted. So I watched the whole thing with Ted, first ever like proper time I've got him to sit down and watch wrestling. He loved Bron Breakker. Loved him. So
he's so quick as well. It's
so
ridiculous.
Quick, powerful.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He looked like $1 million.
Yeah.
I seriously, I was so happy.
It's going to make you happy.
It was, yeah. Financially, it's going to make me very happy.
Yep.
I would never sell. Maybe not. I don't know. Depends how much the car costs. But ultimately, I think that was great. I think Carmelo. I'm a fan of Carmelo, but I don't think he did much throughout it. No. He just seemed to get beaten up a lot, to be honest. Getting thrown around a lot, which I was a bit surprised about, to be honest. But I'm with you. But I think there could have been at least one or two more surprises.
Yeah.
When Omos comes out, you think, oh, for fuck's sakes, we've seen this year after year.
Yeah.
Johnny, anything else from you that
you
want?
I mean, I've been thinking about it actually since last night. I'm just kind of like thinking about how I felt about it. I think we all knew who was going to be there in the end. And it's funny because it's like it's kind of who we all thought, and maybe for some people it's who they wanted, and WWE gave us that, and people are still like, well, it was boring, or it was predictable, or it was whatever. And I could see Triple H kind of just pacing his office, saying like, "But it's what you wanted. Like that's I gave you guys what you asked for, and now it, what more can I do?" I think it was boring because we all knew at the end we were all kind of just waiting to get to the final two. So everything else didn't really mean much. Like I didn't think Braun was going to be there in the end as much as I thought he deserved to be, because he looked amazing, and it's like, I like Gunther a lot, and it was like, all right, well, this didn't really do much for him in this year's Rumble. I don't know. I agree though. I think if they would have maybe had someone else come out, I thought I was actually very excited when CM Punk came out. I think it was like 27 or 28.
27, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, who's coming in 30?
He did
maybe it's someone big.
He?
And then it was fucking Sami Zayn. Sorry, Margaret. I always wanted to say that.
There's gonna be a lot tonight.
But like,
how
Sami Zayn, like, who cares? I don't know.
The Israelites, maybe, but I don't know. But I don't. I didn't see. Obviously, I mean, we're going to talk about Brock later on and the impact of Brock not being in the Rumble, because he is obviously a very dominant force, and we all know why, and we're going to talk about it a bit more, why he's been taken out of this year's Rumble. But I think it was lacking another dominant force like Brock to come in and just shake it all up a bit. I'm not sure, like everyone's been saying, oh, did they do the Pat McAfee in order to substitute for Brock? But I'm not sure if they did the Bron Breakker to substitute for Brock.
That's what I read and was reported. Now, granted, anything from Meltzer you take with a grain of salt, but he did in a tweet somewhere say that Braun took Brock's spot and did everything that Brock was going to do.
Yeah.
So I did hear that.
And stuff.
But if you look at it, I mean, Cody got rid of 4 people. Braun got rid of 4 people. That was it. Like the rest are like, there's a couple of 3s and lots of 2s and 1s and stuff like that. But there was no one, you know what I mean? There was no standout performance. You expect someone to hit like 5, 6 eliminations, didn't you? To really stamp their authority, to say, look, this is, I may not win it, but this is my statement.
Well, you know what I think hurt it too? You had the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
So now automatically Randy's not in there, AJ's not in there, LA Knight's not in there. Those are 3 big names, or even if 2 of them were in there, you got to figure they're going to go on a run. So
yeah. I mean, they could have just had. I think it should have been Roman versus Orton, and put AJ and LA Knight into the Rumble.
Yep.
I think that should have happened personally, but.
My favorite part of the Rumble of the both of them, and this is so minor, but it was the first time, to my knowledge, I've ever seen it. But popping the timer up in the upper left-hand corner of how long the top people have been there, that was really, really cool. Like it felt more of like a sporting event or a big event than a wrestling event, and it was just such a minor detail. But I was like, that's. And then it updated when somebody got eliminated.
Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there with a lot of this. Where the WWE is going, it feels more like a sporting event these days than it is. I think it definitely, over the last couple of years, felt to me like it's a big entertainment show. Mm-hmm. And now they're turning it into like a sporting event. So I think the move to Saturday nights, a lot of it has done that, really. So, I don't know. But I did... Going back to what Johnny was saying, that if you look at what the breakdown of everyone, so Austin Theory was the last person to come out for SmackDown at number 13. Everyone else was either unaffiliated, NXT, or Raw.
Yeah,
and that's because the other boys were
top guys
for the title.
Right.
How that's terrible though, isn't it? I mean, they couldn't even put because you had the likes of Karrion Kross, Bobby Lashley, all that lot, all at the start.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really care for that whole Karrion Kross thing either, to be honest. Sorry, Zan Morning, if you're listening. But I don't see where that's going at the minute, to be honest. Because obviously they're fighting Bobby Lashley's lot. What, is it going to end up with a fight against the Bloodline at some point? I don't know.
It's tough to say.
Yeah.
They need trios championships. That's what they need.
I think they do. I think that'd be interesting, actually,
Yeah.
putting the trios in there. Why not?
They've got enough
Okay.
of them going on, so
Yeah.
book it.
I was kind of expecting, and this is the last point for me, I was kind of expecting something to happen at the end. Because lately with WWE stuff, the last match that happens and then something else happens. And I was just kind of sat there going, oh, is that it? Are we actually done? Are we actually done tonight?
I don't understand The Rock. Like, why bring him back at the beginning of the year and then not have him at the Rumble? Odd.
I
Really
think
odd.
I've been thinking about this because
Right.
with some of the information early in the week with him and the announcement and then the Raw announcement and Netflix and all that fun stuff. I think you heard it here first, just like Panini and the WWE court case was ended months ago. You heard it here first. I think we're going to get Roman and Rock on the first WrestleMania on Netflix to pop a subscription jump on Netflix. And they're going to build it for a year.
No, really? You reckon it will be?
I think so. That because in one of his public, like when they were talking to Rock in one of his interviews, he said, "Yeah, I think Roman and I could, be the biggest WrestleMania of all time." And then, like when he said that, like the business part of my brain hit, and I'm like, well, if they're going on Netflix and taking over, what better way to,
that'll be Royal Rumble next year will be the first pay-per-view on Netflix, won't it? So
look how well we did compared to last year's WrestleMania. It's a good thing Netflix decided to pay us $5 billion or $500 million for whatever it is. But yeah, I think we're in for the long haul with Roman and Rock now.
Yeah.
The only reason why I say, and I don't say you're wrong, and the only reason I rebut it slightly is that I have a feeling that obviously Cody's going to go for Seth if Seth can actually go. And I think that that's wrong. I think he should have another go at Roman, to be honest. But as soon as Cody won, I was like, right, so he's going to go up against Seth. What's going to happen?
He pointed at Roman, didn't he? And there was Roman. They had that thing at the end.
Box.
Okay.
Maybe because Seth's injured, isn't he? So I don't know.
He said he's going to try to come back.
Yeah.
But
I took it the way you did.
I think it might
like
be
he
too
pointed
soon.
to him in the box, which also made me think, you just had a match. Why are you up in a box right now? Like that you never think logically at a wrestling event because you just fall down the wrong rabbit hole.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. But I don't know, man. Like, I just got this. I mean, the thing is, Cody's on Raw. And I know that you can fight against anyone, but they generally go and fight against who is on Raw, basically, right? Roman's Roman. And I seriously had in my mind that Cody's going to go against Seth. I bet Cody will win against Seth, and what's his name will cash in and beat him on the night. That would be hilarious. You know what I mean? That would be typical. You waited ages for Cody to win it. He does, and then he loses it. That's pure WWE right there. And then I just had in my mind Roman against The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So if that transpires, I'll be happy, but I don't know. We'll see. But the thing is, if Cody goes against Roman, then
CM Punk and Seth.
Yeah, but Cody can't beat Roman. Roman's going to have this title until he dies.
So that was my question, because it's like, what does WWE value more? Cody finishing the story or Roman breaking the record in September for Hogan? Because you can't have both.
Yeah.
So what is it going to be? You know, if it's Cody Roman and he loses again, you just buried the guy. What do you? How does he not finish the story at this point?
And that's where my head is at, really, with it, because there's no way you can have Cody beat Roman for the title. Surely not. Not when he's so close to Hogan.
But
that record is gone.
The other thing is, what was Vince's idea and what's TKO's idea now?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
And does that change things now that Rock's part of the board?
Because we know that Rock Roman doesn't.
Let's get into those bits now anyway, because we're talking about the stuff that people might not know. So we'll just go. Trav, do you watch? Do you listen to New Heights?
I listen to enough segments that I've probably heard.
Do you know the new news thing?
New news.
New news. All right now. I'll be waiting for that. Thank you. AEW Metal, Leaf, Metal Legends Wrestling, and Panini Don Ross Elite. We always use Steel City. They're all TBD. There is a potential that AEW Metal is out on the 7th of February. We'll see. I think Leaf Metal Legends Wrestling is quite soon, because I've seen people with it in hand behind the scenes, right? So I think it's coming. But yeah, with Steel City saying TBD against everything, I was a bit like, ooh, okay. That's doesn't sound too promising. Anyone else heard any different?
I haven't, no.
Nope.
Let's move on.
I just hope Backyard Breaks doesn't get any Leaf Metal, because they'll be the one pulling all the rock up.
100%.
So, WWE on Netflix was announced. The UK wins, as I put on the notes, because it looks like we're getting all of the content on Netflix, which is great. I've actually cancelled my subscription. I don't watch it often enough these days. I watch the Royal Rumble. I'll pay for the Mania when it comes on, but I'm excited. Everyone else excited about Netflix getting it?
Well, I mean, I am, because it takes away the need for TNT Sports. Do you know what I mean? I don't need TNT Sports now, because I have the NBA on an app, and now if I can watch wrestling on an app as well, excellent. But what I wondered about America, because you guys, is it SmackDown still going to be on USA, or because they've just signed a new deal? I don't know what's going on over there.
SmackDown's on USA, and then Raw will be on Netflix, and then I'm guessing all the premium live events are going to be on Netflix going forward. And this will be one of the first times ever that there is no way to watch there is no free way to watch WWE ever. Like, so you have to have a subscription to cable, because USA is on cable. You have to have Netflix for PLVs and Raw. So, I will be resubscribing. I dropped Netflix because they jacked up their prices. They don't really have a lot, but then I could justify it because my parents are a little bit older and they used mine, and the kids did every once in a while, but it just got to be one of those, I'm paying this because I'm used to paying a Netflix subscription. And, but I mean, it's
the thing is with Netflix, if you're into like dark, gritty shit, that's what they do the best, right? I'm not. After a while, I'm just like, okay, I was going to get it back when Stranger Things series 5. What Stranger Things are we on? I can't remember. Is it 4 or 5?
Johnny, call Danny. He loves Stranger
The next one, yeah. Then he'll know. The last Stranger Things, when it comes on, I was ready to go back when that happened, but just saves me money coming off the network and going onto Netflix at some point and just waiting for them. So happy days. But Netflix, take or leave it. Their subscription prices are up and down like a bloody yo-yo as well. So,
I'm bummed.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I'm a Peacock guy. I think the network has been great on there, and then I think their additional stuff is good too. Like my wife and I will watch a lot of shows that are on Peacock. They do other sports that I'm into. Like they'll show like the Premier League games and stuff. So I watch Premier League soccer on there, football, and
we got to watch the Chiefs game last week, Johnny. That was on
right. Yep, the NFL football is going to Peacock. It looks like for some of the bigger games in the playoffs, at least. So, yeah, I mean Netflix. I'm not a big fan of Netflix. I'm bummed that for the first time in my lifetime, I'm not going to be able to just turn on a cable and watch Monday Night Raw. I mean, for you, I know for you guys it's different because of just the way things. It's also you guys are also watching Monday Night Raw at 3:00 in the morning, so it's like it makes no sense, but. Being in New York and on the East Coast, it was 8 o'clock, turn on Raw on, USA, and that's been my whole life. And now it's going to be in a streaming. I don't know. It's the way the world's going, and it is what it is. But, to have to pay for all types of wrestling content, it's, I don't know.
I was shocked that it's going on to Netflix, though.
Same.
Out of all the places that it could have gone to. And it ended up there.
I thought it was going to go to Amazon.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Amazon or Peacock because of NBC, and it's just so powerful. And Amazon's Amazon, but
the next bit of news that we have might have influenced this because The Rock loves his Netflix, right? I mean, he's been doing films for them for years. Yeah. So, The Rock is now on the board of directors for TKO. What it means is for us in the card world more than anything is one, we're closer than ever getting a Rock card in the future. Not in the near future, but maybe in the distant future. We never know. So he has signed a merchandise agreement. So it does look promising that I was thinking about this. What is the betting we have a UFC card with The Rock on it with his autograph before we get a wrestling card?
I don't like that.
Or his belt. What didn't he help create that BMG BMF belt?
BMF belt. Yeah, that was it. The bad motherfucker belt. And he was there strapping it around. I think it's Nate Diaz's.
Maybe?
Was it Nate Diaz was the first one?
That would make sense.
Yeah. And so what's the betting that we get a Panini one of those? That would be hilarious. But it is promising. We're closer now than we ever have been with potentially getting product from The Rock in the future with his signature on it. So that's great. Any other Rock-related things you want to talk about? Other than that, I tried to make it card-centric, but...
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think this is the closest we're going to ever get to having The Rock back in product with autographs, especially with the way that, I think the license is going from Panini ultimately to Topps, whether it's this year, next year, or at the end of the license, that's where it's going. And you see all the things that Fanatics is doing now. I mean, they got LeBron James to sign an autograph deal. Yeah. And that is something I never thought would ever happen. And they got him. They got Tom Brady signing cards. I think The Rock is in that.
They would do the same thing with The Rock. Like, what if we see a Rock exclusive contract signing, like with Bronny and Braun? And
The Rock will definitely be in the Fanatics product, without a doubt, when it gets to that point. Because those are the guys that they're going after. They're not going after the small fish. They're bringing in the big names.
Austin Theory.
Right. They don't care as much. They're bringing in, so to get The Rock's first licensed autograph deal in cards in
huge
25 years will be massive headlines, especially with what he's doing with Disney and Moana and his other movies. Like it's a no-brainer.
That'd be cool. Could you imagine getting like a Maui autograph card, like where he signs like Dwayne Johnson with like a Maui inscription?
Nothing would ever surprise me with the way
I know
things
that's
are going.
crazy,
Topps
but
just
like,
put out Disney Chrome,
right.
They have they're going to be the big fish, and I think The Rock is going to be on their radar, especially when they get that WWE license. And I think that's great for all of us because you're going to be able to chase after, Rock autographed cards and product that's not Leaf, that's not $400 a fucking box. It's
how crazy is it? When Rock was signing with Comic Images back in '98, he was not. Because if you look at all those autographs, the best auto to pull, even at the time, was Owen. Like
nobody.
Maybe did Taker sign in Comic Images?
I
don't
think so.
Did he?
I don't.
What's the one?
So.
I know it was just a lot of nobodies, and like I mean that respectfully, but Rock has gone from like a nobody to somebody that is just huge, and now that card is, I'd say on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore of cards, and how he's just transcended from Die Rocky Die to on the board of TKO for WWE, UFC, Disney. We won't talk about DC movies because that wasn't great, but
he's a couple of hotels away from owning his own monopoly, i.e. Trump 2.0. but in a nice way.
Yeah. Minus
he doesn't need a wig.
Dodgy stuff.
Yeah. Minus in the lawsuits. But yeah, I mean, I think it's all positives with it, to be honest. We do have to talk about the least positive stuff to come out this week. Obviously,
Samoa Joe still has an AEW championship.
Oh, we'll get to there in a sec.
Okay.
But so sadly, the thing is, I'm a big believer in. I'm a big believer as innocent until proven guilty. But and I'm just going to go through the facts. The facts were that an ex-intern, legal intern, right? She was a legal intern. Janelle Grant, her name is. She filed against he was chairman and on the board of directors, right, of TKO. Vince McMahon and obviously John Laurinaitis is in there, and allegedly Brock Lesnar's in there as well. So Vince is gone. He's taken his ball and gone, and I think he had to do that because of the potential loss of the advertisement and whatnot. I think Slim Jim's pulled away
and then went back. Yeah, once he resigned.
So, and John Laurinaitis, I think, is lawyering up, and also I don't know what's happening to Brock. He's obviously gone into hiding at the minute. I don't think they'll use him again. I'd be very surprised if they do. The accusations are very extreme, very horrible. I don't particularly want to go through them in detail, to be honest. But basically, the worst thing, shat on her.
Sorry, Margaret.
Trafficked her out, and there's just like loads of stuff. It took a good long read to actually really get your head around it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that we can talk about really in a comedy light is that he named all his dildos after wrestlers. Which is baffling. It really is. But other than that, it's just disgusting. Yeah. And so, is there any coming back from this, do you reckon? Or is this job done for him now? He's gone off, never to be seen again, do you reckon?
I think he's done. He's 72, 73. Like, I read through all of the legal documents on Friday, everything, and I wanted to bleach my eyes and my brain of everything. Yeah. I think, like you, Dave, you're innocent until proven guilty. But there's also the old adage of where there's smoke, there's fire. And with the details, I think he just needs to ride off in the sunset and just call it a day. Because even if proven and pays millions and millions of dollars to have this go away, you can't unread.
I don't think you can come back. This is it. Yeah, you can't come back from this, can you? It's so... Yeah,
you can't unread the Wall Street Journal. You can't unhear TikToks, Instagrams, tweets. It's just.
Does it kind of make you guys think? This is my first thing. Does it make you guys think this is just the tip of the iceberg? Like he's been so powerful for so long that this sort of shit must have been happening for years and years and years, but.
Well, that's like the whole Ryback came out and said it's tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, yeah.
Ultimately, I was surprised when the whole Me Too thing happened. Then the speaking out movement happened, and nothing really happened with Vince. And then it transpired that obviously, because this Janelle one came out a while back now, and then they did a deep dive into the expenses, didn't they? And they saw that he'd spent millions on NDAs. Well, the only reason this Janelle has come out and done the legalness that she has, because he's been missing payments, basically. Yeah. So
she had a $500,000 payment set for every February after the initial $1 million hush money.
But that's the thing, like... Did he do that on purpose? We don't know. I can understand why we haven't heard anything because there's been NDAs across the board. But when you've got millions of pounds worth of NDAs, when you're saying no smoke without fire, there's a lot of fucking smoke there, to be honest, isn't there? So it just is what it is. Johnny, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first, I'm going to say that I'm glad I got to talk about it on this show because with the crew I have on my show, I don't know if I'm even going to bring it up, to be honest with you. I mean, listen, it's so tough because, this guy that you've watched on TV and it's like this thing that we love for our whole life is like, you find out like this and it's just like, fuck him, like automatically you're just like, fuck that, it's despicable. I mean, I haven't read through the documents. I can't speak on everything, but from what I've heard, it's just like absolutely disgusting, and I mean, I would think this is not the only case, just with the way things typically go. And, it's a shame in the sense that like he just was like our childhood, and like to see his legacy kind of go down the shitter now is just, it's just a shame. But I mean, I don't know. It's fucked. The whole thing is just, it sucks.
So to this, I saw this on X, and sorry if I say Twitter or Twix, but David Peck brought it up. And he had brought up, like, as I was thinking about it, and I wanted to bring it up to you guys, there aren't very many Vince PCs. Like, you don't hear, like, I'm getting every Vince card or this. But to collectibles, do you think this is going to stop people from buying high-end Vince autographs, transcendent? We've seen the other one that shall not be named, Mr. Benoit. He still has some very desirable WCW autos, early Fleer, early Topps autos that go for a decent price. In the collectibles, do you think that, I mean, really his high-end cards are those Transcendents and some, regular like hand auto cards. Like, do you think to wheel it back in. Do you think it will hurt it?
I don't think it will. I don't think it will hurt it. I don't think it will hurt at all, mate. I really don't. I think there's enough people out there to be like, well, to disenfranchise what the person is, i.e. a piece of shit, to what they did in their career. And I think a lot of people do that with Benoit. Like, obviously horrific. Like, you can't get past the fact that it was horrific, but people love collecting his stuff still. Is it weird? Potentially. But and I say that potentially because, he murdered his wife and kid. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a difficult one.
I think it hurts. I don't think it hurts those transcendent ones because of the rarity of them, and because of Vince Auto is still quite a rare thing. I think it hurts the anything else cards. Anything that's not one of those, or like a 101 or an auto. No, I don't see people really going for the lower end Vince stuff now. If you've got that, I'd imagine you're going to be stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think obviously prior to this, he was always someone that I did ultimately want to add to the PC one day because like Hogan or The Rock or Austin, Vince, I mean, that's like, he is wrestling, So as a fan of the WWE for the last 30 years or whatever, it's like that was something I always had on my radar. It was like always something in the back of my head, like maybe one day, trade into it or something. I would love to get one of those transcendent autos. I think now it's at the point where like, I think I've taken it off my list because it's just, it's getting to the point where it's like, do people still collect guys like Benoit or like OJ Simpson or like people like that? Yeah, they do. They're still collected. People still go after their autos and cards and whatever. I personally can't do it. So like for me, I just think it's something like, you know what? It's just like, I can't put it in the collection. I just can't.
It saved us money.
Yeah. Right. I'm very much each to their own. I don't understand it, but it's each to their own. I don't understand a lot of the hobby collecting, to be honest. Right. And people who are wrong-uns at the end of the day, as we would say in the UK, he's a wrong-un. Ultimately, it's just like another niche market, basically. The only thing is, we're skirting around the actual issue with what do people need to do in order for them to be like, no, this is now trash. This £1,000 card is now worth nothing. And with Benoit, I think his prices are probably more today, and he's double murder or homicide, right? Yeah, his prices are more today than he would be if they're still alive and he didn't do what he did.
I think the closest thing we could get, and Johnny, you've talked about it on CFP, is the closest thing we have is about said Vanderlei Silva, but it's not him. The baseball guy. Why can't I think Wander Franco? Like that's Wander Franco was huge.
Is he wandering Franco now?
No, they caught him.
Oh, did they actually? I haven't paid.
Yeah, so he was on the run in the DR for a little while, and they finally apprehended him. So,
okay,
yeah, I mean you're right. You're 100% right.
That's the closest I think we can get because he was getting big like Trout and a couple other of those guys just like getting just big money for his cards. And like I know some people are still they're still collecting them, but I think that is the modern day like closest thing we can.
Yeah, I mean, to put it into perspective, Topps Chrome Wander Franco rookie cards that I was selling in my box for whatever $10-15 a clip don't get moved in a 5-cent box now.
Wow. Amazing, isn't it?
Because at the end of the day, he's going to go, if he's found guilty, he's going to sit in prison for the next 25 years to life. And it's like, all right, well, there's no, there's no moving up. There's no prospecting there anymore. That's it. It's done. His career's over.
Yeah. So sidebar, on a lighter note on this topic, Johnny, you'll get a kick out of this. I got to the CFP episode Thursday evening before going to bed after all of the Vince news broke, and hearing Danny and Papa Bear talk about all of the Vince cards and your top Royal Rumble cards. I was like, woo, this is a victim of timing. Like, you could tell this was definitely recorded, Monday or Tuesday, but it was, I was like, whew, like you hate laughing. I wasn't laughing at the situation, so please don't take
No, of course.
Yeah, I know you guys won't, but any listeners, but it was just one of those, like, I was waiting on the Vince Transcendent for the Royal Rumble, and I was like, whoa, like, just, oof. But no, it was, I got to check.
What about the, I mean, we have to cover Brock as well. I don't really care about John Laurinaitis on this, but what's the point? But Brock is a weird one, right? Because he hasn't been specifically, they used an employee who used to work at the UFC.
Yeah, a former talent, a former contracted talent that was a UFC champion.
And other than UFC champion,
they did say champion,
because that's definitely not CM Punk.
It's Dan Severn, Matt Riddle, Ronda Rousey, or Brock.
Yeah,
but that's it just shows that it's, even today, it's a massive boys' club still, and you think that these stories are going to be back, from the 80s and the 90s, the lawlessness back then, not something now.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it a bit more realer, is that it's not old stories, it's current stories impacting current people's lives, and it's just, I think that brings it home. And to be honest, I do love Brock in such a way of, I've always loved his work. However, he's always just been in it for the money. So he's never been on my top list of my favorite wrestlers, because I know that there's no real love there. He just wants to go. He knows who he is. He makes money doing what he does, and then he just goes home and fishes and hunts and whatever. You know what I mean? That's what he does. So, but to him to be included in it now, that for me, I couldn't really give a shit about Vince, to be honest, or John Laurinaitis. But I am a bit annoyed personally that Brock is all part of this as well, because it's like, even though it's like the tail end of his career, he'll never have a big run in him again, to be honest. But it was the one big thing on my checklist of, I've seen Brock. I saw him come out after WrestleMania 28 and F5 John Cena, but I never got to see him wrestle. And it was my one big thing on my checklist to see Brock Lesnar wrestle. But I don't think I will. I think that will be it, basically. What are your thoughts on Brock? Other than he likes to watch women pee.
I mean, he's got,
allegedly.
I think he's got his niche collectors. There are people that go after his NFL stuff, his UFC stuff, and I think, Johnny, you hit the nail on the head. I think the people that wanted those cards have already got them, and that they'll have them, but I don't see people going out and probably proactively looking for them. Because, Johnny, kind of like what you were saying, like, I had thought, maybe I can trade up to one day get one of those out of 25 Vince Transcendent. Because I wanted the same thing. Like, it'd be nice to have one of those cards. But I'm not going to do that now. And I think that might be kind of the same way for Brock. The people that have the big cards and they've got them because they've been collecting him now for years, but I don't necessarily see any new big cards getting out there.
Not yet, at least. I mean, ultimately, you will see it down the road. Everyone kind of when people forget and things aren't in the news, 5, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, but you said the same thing about Benoit. I mean, listen, on CFP, we do an eBay sale list that I kind of go through, like the recent sales. Benoit's on there, decent amount. Sometimes I choose to mention it, sometimes I don't, but he's there. You know, people were still buying his stuff, and literally the guy killed his family. But it was, you know, at this point it was, you know, whatever it was, 15 years ago. You know, so some people have chosen not to. It's not fresh anymore. Not condoning it. I would never own anything from him in my PC. I'd never spend my money on someone like that, or, you know, someone like Vince now at this point. But there are people that do. You know, we still see the sales all the time. So I think Lesnar will be the same thing.
Ironically, I have a Lesnar. So, do you remember the King of the Ring card? Which is a relic, basically. Yeah. It's out of 5. It's on the it's on eBay, and it's been on my watch list forever. Ironically, it's yellow, like piss.
You gotta buy it.
But sadly,
P color match.
A P color match, yeah. Oh God! But no, I'm gutted. I really am. I'm really, really upset by it, to be honest, because when you've got a checklist of things and there's literally one left and it's not going to happen, it's horrible, really.
The crazy thing about this is real life is stranger than pro wrestling in this situation, because you would never even book this or put this in a crazy pro wrestling angle. This was essentially possibly real life.
God. So I used to work with a fella who he loves ECW back in the day. I haven't spoken to him for about 2 years, and he messaged me the other day. Let me just get the message. He messaged me on WhatsApp the other day, completely out of the blue, and just basically said, "One sec. This is a hell of a hill storyline they've given to Vince."
Amazing.
2.5 years. I haven't spoken to him since the 28th of November 2021.
Wow.
Yeah. At least it brings people back together.
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, even my dad, who never watches wrestling anymore and doesn't really mention it, even he was like, "What's going on with Vince?" And I said, "Just read the court documents," and left it at that.
Well, it was on the national news over here.
Yeah.
You know, it was like the 3rd top story. Considering what the hell was going on in the world, it's an achievement.
My mom has done everything in her power to stay away from like my enjoyment of the wrestling hobby, and she saw it and said, "What's going on with Vince?" I said, "That is a conversation we are not having, Mom."
Yeah. All right, so there's 2 other little bits on the new news before we skip off of it. One, Whatnot International UK shipping prices, they went down back to the normal amount.
Yeah.
So they went back from $61 back down to $18. And over the last couple of days, it went back up to, it went up to $20 for some reason. Whatnot are off their heads. I have a story about Whatnot for a different day. I'm not a fan at all of Whatnot, really. I think it's the Wild West.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think there is many I just don't think I think it's poorly managed personally. But hey, it's Whatnot. They're still finding their feet. I can't blame them for that, right? They've been big for a couple of years, and they're spreading, and they're still trying to figure out what they're doing. So I get it, but I really don't think it's the application for me going forward.
Yeah,
the application I thought would be for me is Fanatics Live, but I can't ship internationally.
Yeah, they gotta get on that.
I can create an account, but I can't add a shipping address. That was very much what happened to Whatnot originally.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But I refuse to set up an
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying it.
No. But okay. All right, let's move on to Chris's Nook.
Yes.
Chris,
hello.
Nook.
My Nook. Let's go on over to my Nook. No Jamie this week, obviously. So who won last time? I won last time, so I chose stipulations.
Yes, you did.
the result was unanimous. Now, what I will say, if we'd run this now, I'm not sure you win. I mean, you might still win, but I'm not sure that you win, Dave. But you did, and it ran before, so it's done. So yeah, you got 12 votes. Congrats. I got 1, and Jamie got a big fat 0.
But
Jamie,
we didn't put it on the. We didn't put it on.
I didn't.
Dinner.
Huh?
You knew what was going to happen, right?
I didn't feel like we needed to put it anywhere else. I thought it was so unanimous that, yeah. So congrats. It's now Dave's on 3, I'm on 2, and Jamie's on 1. So he's got
the
some
last time
catching
I'll
up.
ever use Vince McMahon on the Nook.
Yeah, that isn't going to win anymore.
It's done.
Can I just say?
I tell you what.
Can I just say, just before, I changed my WhatsApp picture when I'd taken pictures of all the cards and stuff. I changed my WhatsApp picture to that Vince having his head shaved picture.
Yes.
And I didn't notice until like yesterday or something, and was like, yeah, I should probably change this.
Mine's Vince McMahon with a mustache.
Yeah, on whatnot and
I
stuff
still
as
haven't
well.
changed it.
Yeah, you might want to change that.
So I might want to change that. I tell you, before we move on from that, I am pretty. But I'm not trying to give myself a pat on the back here, but ultimately, when I went in to do this with you guys, with the whole Nook thing, not the show, but the Nook thing, I knew I was the less experienced one because you guys have been in it for a lot. I've only been in the hobby for about 4 years odd. I'm very happy that I'm just mixing it with you guys to have
you're winning.
a potential winner.
You're winning.
It just shows in the hobby, guys. You know, you can join at any time, and ultimately, just there's so many sites out there. I think Wrestling Trading Cards probably is the best that I've used. That you can go back and have a look at all these sets. Was it Trading Card Database?
TCDB,
well.
Yeah.
But to look at full sets in pretty much in their entirety, WTC is so good for that. So you know, there's lots of learning to have there. You know, it's really cool, man. And I've enjoyed everything about it. Like I enjoy looking up just random shit that, you know, from 30 years ago and going, wow, I didn't know that existed. There's so much stuff that like is on sale, but you never see certain sets on sale until you like come across them and look them up, basically. So yeah, no, it's great, man. More. So am I picking for the next one?
So you're picking the next one.
Okay.
If you've not thought of anything now, then we can announce it. You got it, yeah? What we're doing?
So wrestling in the 80s. So a person that you choose on a card, or several people, they've had to have wrestled in the 80s.
Okay. So the card doesn't have to be from the 80s, just they wrestled in the 80s.
There wouldn't be that many options if there were, right?
If you said,
not for a tenner, anyway. So, so the person had to have wrestled in the 80s, and the card can come either before the 80s, or after the 80s, or in the 80s, either one.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, cool. Anything else for the Nook?
No, not this week. Just a short one for me. If we move on over to the President's Hole.
Jamie, if you're listening to this, and I'm sure you are, please can I have Fun-Loving Criminals Scooby Snacks for my background music this week? That would be lovely. Thank you. So, Liberator of the Week. We'll go to Liberator of the Week first, and then we'll go to Royal Rumble stuff. But Liberator of the Week, I did it impromptu. Thought, why not? Let's crack into it this week. So I said Royal Rumble winners, right? Royal Rumble winners, I think it was. And I did ask, because Chris, you have submitted, so I did ask Johnny and Trav to converse with me on the show today and pick a winner. So, have you guys had a look? What's your faves?
Let me pull this up.
So,
either one of you.
Yeah.
To start off, doesn't matter.
I actually, are we supposed to just say the card or the person too? I mean, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. So you can do either.
Okay.
You can do both.
I actually liked Chris's card. The 1993 Blockbuster Video.
Yeah, that was very good.
I have never seen that, and Blockbuster in my childhood was arguably the most important place that we used to go. I mean, it was huge here, so that brought me back. I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna have to go with that."
We both worked there as well.
We did.
Chris and I both.
I would
worked
still
there
work there if I could. I worked there till the very end.
Amazing.
Trav,
I felt the same. This Royal Rumble Super Nintendo game was the very first game that you could play as with Mr. Perfect and do the Perfect Plex. And when I saw that, I wanted to buy the card as well, just because he was on the box art. Chris got my first vote, and my second vote was that guy named Gordo. I don't know if he's listening, but that
where's some fucking London?
The shout out for the Shawn Michaels and Pam Anderson. That just also screams.
Oh, I know.
That was I thought that.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Pam was one of like my childhood crushes, and I don't do the magazine cards, but then also seeing that go, I'm gonna have to add that to the collection. So, damn you, Gordo.
Actually, my second was a magazine card too. My second was the '98 WWF magazine with Austin winning the Rumble in '97.
Yeah, I like that one.
He's the GOAT of Royal Rumble in my opinion. And I'm not a magazine card collector, but I saw that and I was like, oh, that was my favorite year in wrestling was '97. I mean, that's a great card. So
okay. Well, it's 2 votes against my vote anyway, so I'm going to take your vote. I'll have to source it somehow, but I'll get it. I did like your Simpsons card, Chris, as well.
That was cool.
It was very good.
There's a really cool Ravishing Rick Rude, but it's Ned Flanders as Rick Rude. It looks wicked. You know when he's in the ski stuff and he's like looking at his butt. It's like that, but it's Rick Rude. So
yes, very good. I did like 2 others. I liked the what were the other 2 that I liked? I liked they were both tops now. I liked the EST pointing at the sign for WrestleMania like 20, like 2020, I think it was.
21 maybe. Can't remember one of them.
And I liked... What else did I like? Oh, obviously the Braun Strowman holding up the belt as well. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, they were really cool picks. So, yes. Okay, I need to try and source that now, somehow. The one on ComC that I was looking at of it, I believe, has gone.
Dun, dun.
Mr. Betting Sam's picked that up.
Sam,
I bet you Sam's picked that up. Damn you, Sam. I bet you picked that up, man. So, look, if I can't pick it up, I think the one that's still that you posted on is still there.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can do. Okay. So, we also did a Royal Rumble lottery, as it were. And Logie Bear from the ATP picked up the win. We only did the men's. So, fantastic. Well done, Logie Bear. We'll get you something sorted out for that soon.
Blaster,
Chris,
did we say?
Yeah, I might ask you to sort it out if you can, to be honest. And,
yeah, no problem.
Because I've got a busy week now, I think. If you can let him know that we're sorted it, that'd be good.
No problem.
And just let me know how much money I need. But yes, well done.
Can we just really quickly go back to the leaderboard of the Liberator of the Week? How many is Brian on? 3.
Yeah, so Brian's 3.
I'm now on 2.
You are now on 2. Gordo is on 2. And yeah, so you're mixing it up. You can't. The only thing is, you can't have the 1 of 1 if you win the 5, or can you? Don't know.
Why can I not?
I don't know.
Gordo will claim bullshit again, wouldn't he? He claimed bullshit last time I was. Bastard.
But yeah, well done. Johnny, on the CFP side, Tommy won the men's as well. The ATP cleaned up on the Royal Rumbles. That's quite impressive feat. So well done. Okay, so the next part on here, I've put the president addresses the nation. Were you wondering what that was?
I was wondering.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bit of a psych because I'm not addressing the nation at all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the run-in. We're doing the running, boys.
Okay.
So the run-in, we are 2/3 of the Wrestling Card Alliance, and we do a show called The Run-In, which is on YouTube. So please feel free, after you've listened to this, to go over to YouTube and listen. Just type in Wrestling Card Alliance and it should come up. I don't think if you put the run-in, maybe not, but definitely the Wrestling Card Alliance. So please go over there, like, subscribe. That'd be lovely. Thank you very much. We have 6 episodes on there. We're working on season 2. Maybe a spoiler for the first show for season 2, Johnny? We are planning the first episode to be Johnny, myself, and Danny. So that would be quite interesting. Quite fun. So, but we'll start filming that, recording that later on next month. Trav, we need to work on the question list. But I have created 6 questions, so we're not going to do a time frame on these. So 6 questions. Some will be short, some will be a bit longer. What happens is I go through the boys with regarding I'll make a statement and I'll ask the boys to say yes or no to the statement and give a reason why, and they can decide before we move on to the next statement. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So I'll start off with the first one. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Okay. WWE didn't want to leave their contract with Panini. They did the legal action to support Fanatics case. The Fanatics case. So I'll just say that again. So WWE didn't want to leave their contract with Panini. They did it to help the legal case of Fanatics. Travis, we'll go to you first.
I would agree with that. I think that the people that keep track of this stuff just care about whether or not that there is a raise in the profits. I don't think they have anybody obviously looking like, hey, where's the online cards? Where's this? Where's that? As long as the checks are coming in, they are happy. I think that Fanatics, making the announcement prior to Prism even being released that they're coming back. This was them. Hey guys, we're going to start doing all this fun stuff. And hey, did you know that you're not getting X, Y, and Z based on this in your agreement? And then those same bean counters went, nope. All right, what are we going to do about it? And then there was an action taken.
Johnny.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case. It just seemed like kind of too out of left field, and too much had happened from the beginning of the relationship to the point where the action was taken, where it was like, well, how did nobody, it was, I think one of the allegations was like, the TCG thing was never launched. It's like, well, it's been 2 years. How do you not realize that was not done yet? It's too, like, that should have been addressed in year or after year 1 when nothing came of it. Mm-hmm. Same thing for, I think there was supposed to be like an online, like an e-pack type or whatever, like an online, electronic kind of game thing. That never happened. And it's like, well, all right, we're basically almost into year 3 of this. Why is this only getting addressed now? Yeah, I think, obviously we know of the relationship WWE has with Fanatics. They're doing Fanatics Live with them right now, where they're, auctioning off memorabilia, and they have their merchandising agreement is with Fanatics. There's no more Shop WWE anymore or Shop Zone. It's Fanatics and everything. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was kind of like, hey, let's, help our friends out. Ultimately, we know where this is going. But I don't know how well it I don't know how it benefited them. Ultimately, I think it just kind of pissed off their fans, and now they're 6 months into a new year without new products. So really, what did it do for you? But I wouldn't be surprised.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines as the guys. And you think now that it's all kind of been sorted, if there was an actual real problem, then they'd still be concerns about those problems, whereas it doesn't really seem to be, does it? It's like business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing all the wrestlers signing, and we know it's coming. So yeah, I think it was just maybe Fanatics saying, look, if you guys said this and this and this, it might help us push something through, or they might, it might help in some kind of way, but ultimately, no.
Well, we'll move through the section of do you agree? Everyone's agreed. Happy days. There you go. We'll move on to the next one, and I'm sure this one's for Travis right now. All Stars 82 is bootleg. None of the cards should be classed as a rookie. Chris?
No, I don't think it's a bootleg. I guess it is a bootleg, but it's not seen like that by so many people that it's really hard to say that it is. Overrated set, maybe, but bootleg, maybe not.
Johnny?
It's not a set that I'm a fan of. It's so hard because back then it's like you could do whatever you want and things aren't looked at the way that they are now. And it's like if someone were to make a card set now the same way that the Wrestling All-Stars card set came about, it wouldn't be. I'd be called a bootleg card set. It's so how do you not follow those same rules back then? But it's like what Chris said. It's like that's how things were done back then. Obviously they got some sort of license or something. Something had to happen where they were able to put those cards out. So I think it's probably legit.
And Travis?
It's tough because the pictures, Jim Cornette's talked about it, and the pictures were meant for a magazine. The editor and the publisher wanted more money, so he reused the pictures. Like it wasn't made. The pictures weren't made for cards. It was, hey, we need cards. Oh, we'll throw it together and then we'll sell it. And obviously, it's unlicensed because there were multiple federations. Stampede, Texas, Georgia, Florida, whatever was going on in California, to name a few. And there was, this is 82. This is prior to, WWF was here, but I think it was still under Vince Sr., maybe Vince Jr. at the time. It was a money grab and like I said, we know that none of the wrestlers got paid. Jim Cornette's talked about that. He didn't even get paid for his pictures being used. He got comp sets of 1, 2, and 3, and then he sold them a handful of years back through either Heritage or something. So, man, I don't want to say bootleg, but it was a money grab. But as Johnny has said, and as Chris has said, it's just how they did. And they're not, if we're going to go by rules, which nobody goes by, they aren't pack pulled. They aren't like, the closest thing I could compare them to are the cereal cards that we used to get when you would buy a thing of cereal and you would get the unlicensed cards of from General Mills, or when you got the shredded circle cards or mini cards in your shredded beef jerky, and they're all just unlicensed in their pictures. And like I said, I know that they've got obviously a huge following. People have gone to bat for this, and they're graded, and it's a set. Gosh, I don't want to be here all day, but so I'll say no, they're not bootleg.
They're not bootleg. Okay. So Chris said no to bootleg. Travis says no to bootleg. Johnny, no to bootleg?
Yeah, no, it teeters on it, but it's not.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. There's 4 other questions, but we can do these for time's sake as speed round questions, because I think they're quite short. One might be a bit bigger. So the next question is, don't invest in Samoa Joe. He's the drizzling shit. So we're going to go to Johnny first.
That would be a resounding I agree.
There you go. Chris?
I don't think he's a drizzling shit. No, I can't. I don't think he's a drizzling shit, but I don't think you should invest in him, no.
Okay. Travis?
Yes, to all the above. Drizzling shits, and do not invest.
He's a mid-card talent that they gave the belt because everybody else is hurt.
Okay. So, bookends should not cost more than any other numbered card in that parallel.
Agree.
Agreed.
Fair
it's
enough.
Like the eBay 1 of 1. It's stupid.
Fucking stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question, we have to go one by one on this one, okay? So, it's pronounced Tancredi, not Tancredi. Travis first.
I go with the short E, and I've always been a Tancredi fan.
Okay. You're going to have to change your name, Johnny, after this, I think. Chris?
I go Tancredi. I don't know why. It's just how it comes out.
Maybe Danny's going to have to change his name. Johnny, Tancredi. Don't go in the middle. Don't say it's either one.
I say Tancredi more.
Oh, really?
It makes no sense. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. And the last one then is this one actually came from Graham, actually. So John Cena's cards will one day outshine and outsell The Rock's cards.
No. Due to Rock still way more limited on autos and relics compared to Cena.
And he's going to be the president one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There was a short window where I thought Cena might be becoming like on a Rock level, and I think the Rock just kind of continued to skyrocket, and Cena kind of plateaued since then. Yeah. So.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree. Fuck him.
This show has been sponsored by SM Cards UK on Instagram. Thank you to Scott for supporting and sponsoring this Squared Circle Relics podcast. If you want to make a deal on wrestling cards, reach out to him directly and follow him wherever you can. Again, that is SM Cards UK. We thank Scott for supporting the Squared Circle Relics podcast.
Purchases of the week. I think we could, Johnny. Any purchases?
I did pick up a couple of things, but I'll keep it quick. And I'll give a little shout out if I can. You're not going to be thrilled about it because of the platform, but for the first time in I guess 2 years or so, I actually decided to start buying a little bit on Whatnot, and that was really just to support my friend Henny Omega over in the Card Pros. He recently launched his Whatnot stream show, I'd say like 2 weeks ago now, and it's mostly like Japanese stuff, BBM, and stuff that you just really don't see too often on eBay, and especially in the States. It's just nobody has this stuff. And I've been jumping in the shows he's been doing them like twice a week. I picked up a bunch of like Okadas and stuff that I don't have. I wasn't able to get. I picked up a Liger card for 1997 BBM Sparkling Fighters Liger. I thought I was going to be going to a signing of his, but I don't think it's going to work out that I can go anymore. But still, I'll keep that for the PC. And just like a couple little things, just like little pieces here and there. I mean, I can see how addicting it actually is, because it's like these things are just getting, these auctions are just getting rattled off one by one, and it's just like, oh, I want that. Let me swipe or whatever. It's fun. You've
already paid the shipping.
Right, exactly. So now I'm just like, oh, all right, cool, $49. It's like whatever, free shipping now. All right, cool. It's $3 done. It's so easy. I actually picked up a card for Danny in the stream because I saw that he had a Ziggler Prism for like out of 49, and it was like, no one's bidding on it. $2, okay. I already had passed the free shipping at that point. But yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite platform. But if one of my friends or friends of our brand, friends of our show are gonna start an endeavor, I try to go out and support. So I've jumped in a bunch of his streams and picked up some stuff. So if you're into that Japanese BBM kind of stuff, and you're in the States and you're not across the pond, definitely jump in and check it out.
All of our you would love being in our ATP chat. It's just
the main thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's because we got Tommy, Gary, and Logan. All of them are, chasing that.
Honestly, dipping my feet into that water for the first time. Like, I made a post in our Facebook group like last week, like, oh, if I were to jump into Stardom, where would I kind of start? And a bunch of people in our group were able to give me some recommendations, and I've checked it out throughout the week. My wife was sick this past week, so I had a lot of free time just to kind of watch, what I wanted to watch, and I threw that on, and I was like, oh, I get it. This is definitely entertaining. So I'm slowly dipping into that world.
I like the fact that you can like the autographs are just insane, right?
Oh, they're so cool. I mean, it's like art
level.
It
is. So I get it. I get it. Not for me, but I get it. All right, I'm next on the list. So generally, I haven't bought much. I've got a lot coming in from previous purchases. I've bought a lot of stuff not wrestling related, lots of Pokemon.
Stupid electric rat.
I did all right. I got a.
You did well.
I got a Mew from the new Pokemon set, which is probably worth over £100. So I was quite happy with that.
How was that new set?
Well, it's like the Shiny Treasures Japanese set that they've done. So it's just kind of like the English version of that, to be honest. I love the baby shinies and stuff like that. I can't believe I'm talking about fucking Pokemon. Shoot me now.
I thought it was cool that you said you got that card out of a free pack rather than your ETB.
Yeah.
I was telling the guys at work and they were all like, oh shit, let's all buy the free packs instead. So
I did. I bought another 3-pack as well, and
was it shit?
I didn't. Yeah, it was not good. So I couldn't believe that though. Because you can get like boxes of 3 cards, 3
like a blister pack.
Right.
Blister pack basically. And I pulled a big card out of that. So yeah, but other than that, I've got one card, and it's for the top 5. So I'll mention it in the top 5 when we get there. Chris.
Hello, yeah. Mine's not too over the top, so I'll run through it. I still have a saved search on eBay for WCW strategy guides. So anytime a strategy guide comes up, I check if it's got the cards. If it has and it's reasonably priced, I pick it up. So picked up another one. It was in pristine condition, $13. And I've got about 4 or 5 of these sets now, so... But yeah, I'm just addicted to buying them. Now, I mean, obviously, Dave, you've kind of skirted around your whatnot thing. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about eBay and some shitty stuff on eBay. You all know these, Dave. So the WWF Gold Series 1 and 2, the black and the yellow. saw a really good bundle on eBay and just bid and didn't really look into it too much. The cards have turned up since, and always read the description and always check the pictures, because they've turned up and they're all brown on the back and like wavy, and do you know what I mean, where they've got wet. But it was clearly pictured. It was clearly written in the description. It is totally on me. So that is my bad for that one. Great cards, but still from the front. Yeah, Jamie would not be happy because it's the backs of the cards, and we know how much she prefers the backs of cards to the front. So
it kind of puts me off going like vintage.
This like, sort of thing can happen. Yeah,
because you very rarely see, because I'm not chasing PSA 10s on everything. No. You know what I mean? But
that's the thing with this bundle, is all I looked at was the front of the cards, and the corners were all really good. I didn't check the back. So my bad. And speaking of dumb shit I've done on eBay lately, there was a guy selling loads of Slam Chrome. I was winning loads of the auctions, and I got a little bit carried away and overpaid for a Rhea Ripley card. It was a Rhea Ripley green to 50. And so I got in a little bit of a bidding war. And then you should always, again, if you're bidding on something, always just search it in eBay before, otherwise this will happen. And then I searched it afterwards. There was 3 cards cheaper than what I just paid. So I, being the type of person I am, I went and bought all 3 of them just to make myself feel somewhat better. I was like, now there's no cards on eBay cheaper than that one I just bought. So fuck you all.
Chris's Nook is now Chris cornering the market. He's buying everything.
I've got 5. And I already had the card. I didn't even check if I had this card already. And I already had it anyway. So I didn't need any of them. I've got 5 of the 50 of them. So, yeah.
10%? Or 10.
Yeah. I picked up some sealed vintage for the channel, some 89 and 90 classic packs, $20, 5 packs. I thought that was quite a good deal. Dave, I picked you up a card.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Randall Keith Orton, Money in the Bank 2015 matte relic, $7.50. So it's like a $5. And then literally 5 minutes before we came on, I won an auction for, I think I paid 115 quid for it. So it's about $130. It's a complete set of the Road to WrestleMania 2015, has 11 relics with it, 1 printing plate, and then like about 50 or 60 coloured parallels. So like the blues or the bronzes or the reds and things like that. But it's got a really cool Hulk Hogan patch. So it's the pictures where he's got his feather boa, and then the patch is like it's like red writing, or is it a yellow shirt and red writing, or one of those ways around. But yeah, it's just not something you see very often. So yeah, that's about it from me.
Cool, Trav.
I had a.
I know what you've bought.
That's the next one. I shout out to my good friend of the show, John Thurman. We went together and bought 5 boxes of the new Stardom, New Japan Rebirth TCG. And last Friday we did a little break. I don't even know if you really call it a break. I mean, just like we got on Zoom and he opened them and he got what he was looking for. Well, I got what I was looking for. So that was, that was good. These new Rebirth, the SSPs and the partner cards are a lot harder to pull than any years prior.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
A lot harder. John and I have been buying them last couple of years when they come out, and we just, kind of like what you guys do with the CFP. Hey, these are coming out. Let's pre-order. How much do you want to put in? Okay, I'll match it. You get what you're looking for. I get what I'm looking for, which is nice because we both collect completely different people. And, we've always, don't want to say hit pay dirt, but we've always done fairly well. But out of 5 boxes, and then Shane Beal from the CFP, he opened 2. So out of 7 total boxes, nobody pulled a regular partner card, let alone like a super short print partner card. So there's your shid news for the week for everybody. Partner cards in 2024 Rebirth are hard. It's still fun break. Eugene Agata has a card. Jeff Cobb has a couple cards. Pretty surprising. And then yesterday, 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, and I blame Lloydy for this because, last week or last episode, not last week, there was talk about acetate cards and the flagship AEW acetate cards. And, what a Jade Cargill clear cut hit eBay from our friends up north in Canada. Should have had Graham do this. Yeah.
Clear cut. I'm currently showing a Smart Mark Sterling clear cut to the screen before I burn it. Sorry.
And I've got a little bit of a Jade collection, and it was, to put it politely, outrageously priced. But he was first to market, first one on there. It's how the hobby is. So the seller and I have been going back and forth, as Dave can attest, because I've sent him screenshots of every offer that I have sent him and counter offer and offer, because I would send 5 offers and then we wouldn't agree on anything. And then he would lower it $20. And then we'd have another 5 offers because he lowered it $20. And like, this has been going on for 2 weeks. And he lowered it, I think, for the 3rd time. And I just sent another offer, and he countered $10 more. And I stood firm. I was like, let me just at least get this notification off. Let me respond counter offer with my same offer. He accepted. And so like 2 hours prior to the Rumble and her WWE debut, I did pick up the 23 flagship clear cut
timing
Cargill. And so now I'm hoping, because it's in Canada and he can't ship it till tomorrow, I'm hoping I don't get a cancel notification tomorrow morning for it and see it relisted on eBay.
Guys, this is a little PSA. Just when this is going on and you can clearly tell if somebody wants the card and you're haggling over, just sell the fucking card. Like, what are we doing here? I deal with this all the time when I do the shows in person, and I'm like, I'm selling a card. It's, $60. And it's like, all right, well, how about, can I get it for 20? All right. And you see it, how about 50? I'm like, what are we doing here? Or then you get to the point where it's like, it's $5. Just take the fucking card. Like, what are we doing? It's that's the one part of the hobby and you can clearly tell that I just can't stand, where it's like, come on, is anyone buying a house with the difference? No. So let's move on.
I've had it this week. I've had it literally on eBay this week where I've haggled and it's gone back and forth. We finally settled on a price. This is for a 1-of-1 printing plate. And then the guy's not even paid. It's been like 4 days now and he's not paid. And I'm like, what was all that haggling back and forth for? What the fuck? So yeah, really annoying.
I will say in my defense that it was I got it for less than half of his original price. So he was way up there. So
to me, like, the price on eBay means nothing because of the way people price things on there. It's like, listen, I collect Michael Conforto, who's a guy who used to play for the Mets 5 years ago that most people don't even know who he is anymore. His stuff is not worth a quarter of the price that people have it on eBay for, and no one's willing to budge. And it's like, it's infuriating. It's like, I need this stuff for my PC. It's stuff out of 5 and like super fractures and stuff. And it's like, it's not worth $1,000. Yeah, it was never worth $1,000 when it came out. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I get it, man. It's frustrating. Just
really.
It's the most animated I've ever seen Johnny.
I know.
I love it.
The pricing shit pisses me off so much because people just will not, like, I can't stand I bought the half the case for $600 and I pulled this card. I need to get my money back. No. That's not how this works.
Right.
You took a gamble and opened half a case of a product that yielded 30%. That's not my problem. I don't know.
I'm a big believer in that. Like, it's the card is worth what it is.
That's it. I don't care how much you spend. I don't care what you're into it. I don't care, that you bought it in 2020 when the pandemic came and you took a big hit on. I really don't care. It's worth X. I'm willing to pay you X.
Yeah. And I have the same thought, John, because I still, even though I got it at the price I wanted, I got it at this is a ridiculous, not ridiculous. This is higher than I want to pay because I know that I want this card. And because I want it.
But you also know the market.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a $500 Jade Cargill card that you wanted it for $50.
Right.
That's just insulting. You're the market and your offers were within reason. That's completely fair.
Yeah, and I feel like they were, and like I said, he just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, and then I was like, well, shoot, this is lower, and that was the thing. He dropped it to where it was lower than what my first offer was. So I mean, it ended up.
Right, good job, pal. You lost money,
right. So
sorry for the tangent, but
no, I love it too. This is awesome. But it's
true though. It is true.
Like I said, I've been doing this for 2 weeks, and every morning I would wake up and send Dave a screenshot of here it is again, and it was just like, how bad do you want to sell this? I obviously want to buy it,
right?
You're going to make money on it.
He sends me a message about 6:30 his time, and it's 11:30 my time. This is our daily event. This has always been our relationship, hasn't it, Travis? To be honest,
on both sides, it's sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I'll see something that he's done while I'm asleep, or same thing. Something will happen while he's asleep, and I send it to him, and it's
fun, isn't it? But
Christmas.
The only thing I would say, onto the top of that, is it's very difficult when there's no comps and as well common sense. I think all logic goes out the fucking window, especially when this is nowhere in the same but when someone's got a 1 of 1 and it's oh, how much should I sell this for? And you see on these Facebook sites they ask how much is this worth? It's how are you supposed to fucking comp a 101 off someone that potentially may not the products are all different. 1 of 1 prices from different products are different because there's some higher end and there's some lower end. It is I don't know what that noise was, but it sounded amazing.
It's a Godzilla ad. I apologize.
But the thing is, it can get tricky, but just that's when common sense prevails, right? So it's difficult though. It is difficult. Okay, let's move on to the last segment. And I don't know how this one's going to go, to be honest, because obviously this is the top 5 Mega 5. This is our flagship segment. The only thing is, so we're doing it a tiny bit different this time round. So we all met before. Trav didn't meet us, but we sent him the output of it. But we met beforehand, and we came up with an idea. So this is called the Royal Rumble Entrances Wheel Picks. So I span a wheel with our names on it, and I span the wheel with women or men on it. Obviously, the women were, I think it was 1 in 8, basically, because of the amount of times women have had Royal Rumbles. And then I span the entrance. So number. So whatever entrance number you had, you then had that many Royal Rumbles to go and look at who you had at that entrance number and build your top 5 of those people. So the only thing is that the women one is a bit difficult because we had 5 Royal Rumbles with women in it, and last night was the 6th. Yeah. So it was going to be a bit difficult for whoever had the woman, the women, if it happened, because there was a big chance that no one would have landed on it. But we'll get into that in a sec. So I did it. So it went Chris, Johnny, me, Trav, but I've changed it around because of the entrance numbers. Okay. So the the lowest number goes first and the highest number goes last, basically. Okay. So we start off with Johnny. Johnny, sadly, you got women. You beat the odds there, mate. Sorry. And you had entrance 5 of the women. I'm sure you had some brilliant ones to choose from. So, pity you
all my favorite people, all my favorite PC people were in this. Yeah. So I mean, just want to make sure I clarify. So 5 is the least liked, right?
Yes. Okay. Jamie has trouble with this, but yes, 5 is the least.
You had mentioned that, and it's been in my head ever since. So
1 is the most. Yes.
I've second guessed myself multiple times because you've clarified, and I'm like,
the times we've had on this has been hilarious. There's some that have gone up the page, and there's some that have gone down the page on the show notes, and it's spectacular. It really is very fun, very fun. Love you, Jamie.
Yeah, but so this is why we love Jamie.
Yeah, this is why we love Jamie.
So you want me to start 5 to go 5 to 1?
Yeah, 5 to 1.
Yeah. All right. So for the 5th entrant in the vast history of the Women's Royal Rumble, kick it off with number 5, Aaliyah. And the card I chose for Aaliyah is her first appearance, the 2016 Topps WWE Divas Revolution set with the first NXT Indignation on the card.
Oh, lovely.
Very nice.
Okay,
Very
cool.
nice.
We'll go to number 4. I chose Shotzi Blackheart, and I chose the 2020 Topps Finest rookie card of Shotzi. She's that's one of my favorite sets of all time, 2020 Topps Finest. Sadly, she didn't have an auto in that set, but she did have a rookie with all the parallels and refractors. So
it's weird that she didn't. Actually.
Yeah, it is. Because she did have the rookie symbol on there, but no rookie auto.
Did she have the green parallel on that one, Johnny?
I would think, yeah. I mean, it was in the set, so I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah, which would be the hair color match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the greens were lower. I think
99.
Like
99.
99, is it? Okay.
Yep. At 3, I chose Lana, and I chose her 2015 Topps Chrome rookie auto. Topps Chrome, you know how, if you listen to CFP, you know how much we love that set. 2015 was a good year. On card auto, so thought that was cool. Number 2, I had Mickie James, and I went with an unconventional one. I went with 2011 TriStar TNA Knockouts. This was actually a 5 auto card out of 25. So you had Angelina Love, you had Mickie James, Velvet Sky, Tara, and Madison Rayne. So I thought that was kind of a cool one because that represents like the Knockouts division from TNA that I think everybody knows and remembers. And it's like when you think of TNA, that's the era that I think of, 2011. So I chose that for her.
That's right up Trav's alley as well.
I think those. I think those cards are heavily slept on and are
without a doubt. There's some bangers in those cards. Yeah.
If you look back at some of those autos, like you've got Hogan, Nash, like Gail Kim, Mickie James, the Young Bucks have a card.
Yep, they do.
I think those TriStar Impact cards are heavily slept on.
Yeah,
autos and base.
And then to round it out, my number 1 was Lita. And for Lita, I chose 2022 Panini Immaculate, the signature moves on card auto out of 99. I just thought the photography on the card is beautiful. It's her doing the moonsault. Yeah. It's obviously immaculate. Those cards are beautiful on card auto. Again, it's like just I wanted to choose a card from like the Fleer years, just because that's like her era and everything. But I really just couldn't like hone in on one. So then I went to more of the modern, and that was a card that just caught me. I was like her with that trademark finisher and the collectability of the Immaculate. So
yep, there's
my 5.
Lovely. No Jordan Grace. You could have had her.
Yeah, so
I don't know
I had
cards that she had.
I originally had her. I originally had whoever enters into 2024, and then when it was her, I was like, oh, let me see if she had anything, and she did have that TNA auto that was released recently.
Yeah,
not like the biggest fan of that set, so I was like, screw it, I'll just go with the original.
And she is Carmen. Screw you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go to mine then. So I was men. There's
men.
some. I am men. But entrance 6. So I was only one above Johnny. To be honest, I think I've done all right. So number 5 from 2010, i.e. the Royal Rumble of 2010. So Beth Phoenix, Panini Chronicles Certified 2022 out of 49. It's purple on purple. Purple on purple on purple. It's very good. It's her, obviously, by the ring, sitting on the ring as she does her weird action in the air, and she kissed the great Khali out of the ring, guys. Come on, that was a feat in itself. But this is when it gets serious. So number 4, I went for the 1992 Royal Rumble and Shawn Michaels. He didn't win that Royal Rumble, but I've gone with Shawn Michaels' moments about the Royal Rumble he did win, Immaculate 2022. And it's basically, it's one of Travis's favourite cards that they did in Immaculate. It's him skinning the cat with his penis autograph looking like the phallus is flapping in the wind as he's flapping over the ropes. It's amazing. I think it was out of 60. I'm pretty sure it was out of 60.
I think so.
Okay. Number 3, I went for WrestleMania 1990. My dad's favourite wrestler of all time, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Topps 1985. His rookie card, the one where he's got his kilt on, flapping in the wind, and he's pulling a face. It's the textbook Piper. Love it. Number 2. This is the one I bought, and this is one of probably my top 10 cards that I have in my set. And it's not an expensive card, but I think, and it's slept on. And Zan Morning missed this out recently, which I was very, very shocked about. So 2001, Kane was in that, throwing everyone out of the Royal Rumble, and he had recently had a snapshot in the 2023 Select. Which I think is very, very nice. But they did they did all the base stuff for it. They did a gold and stuff like that, and they did some flash ones. But they also did the Red Wave T-Mall.
Yeah,
I have it here.
That's cool.
Oh,
honestly,
wow.
that
That's
is
a cool
such a sweet card. I think they're quite the T-Mall, the Red Waves on the T-Mall are quite low print because of what they put in there.
yeah.
I heard from Card Tricks that most of them are like 280. Really, they're actually harder to get. The Red Waves are harder to get than the actual numbered cards in the T-Mall.
Oh wow!
I.e., there's less print of them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works with the snapshots though, but I love that card. I think it is the best Kane card they've ever done. I love his autograph cards and stuff like that, but it's out of this world, that card. So happy. And number 1, it's from 2021, and it's a 2021 card as well. Dolph Ziggler. Image variation, chrome, superfractor, 1 of 1. Danny, fuck you. You ain't getting that card, motherfucker. No, of course. I'll talk to him about it. But yeah, I can believe I get Dolph.
There you go.
I get Dolph. So, yeah, very happy with that. Right. We'll move over now to Chris.
Cool. So I had spot 17 officially the worst spot in the men's rumble. You should see. I could read it.
Kofi last night, but Kofi last night.
He did really well, didn't he? He didn't even get his normal signature shenanigans in. He just got eliminated.
I don't remember him being eliminated, to be honest.
He just got eliminated like normal, and everyone was kind of like, "Oh, we didn't see any like cool shit."
Yeah.
Fucking.
Okay.
So I'll just quickly say, out of all the entrants, there's 4 episodes of Dark Side of the Ring you could watch out of these guys. Yeah.
Keeping the trend.
5 double entrants, so 5 people: Sheamus, Shelton Benjamin, Albert, The Godfather, Goldust, and now Kofi. So now 6 double 17 entrants. None of them have done anything.
Wow.
There's been no winners. All of the New Day have entered at 17. And although no men's winners, there has been a women's winner at 17. But anyway, just some stats for you. Number 5, I've gone for the one and only Booker T. 2012. He was eliminated by Cody Rhodes and Dolph Ziggler. The card I've gone for, I don't know if you guys have seen it, it's Illusions from Panini. He's in the pose just about to hit the spinneroonie, you know, when he's like I'm doing the face like that. So I've never seen this card before. It's incredible and I need it. So yeah, I'm going to be buying that one. Owen.
Well, we've got our number 5 anyway. For
next one, number 4 was 1996. Owen Hart entered at 17. There's a lot of cool Owen Hart cards, but I've tried to go with one from the era that he entered the Rumble at this spot. So I've gone for Action Packed Series 2. It's like the insert, it's Dirtiest Dozen. He's sitting on top of the blue steel cage and he's giving himself the thumbs. Just generally my favourite Owen card. So I went for that one. Number 3, China. So she entered the 2000 Royal Rumble at number 17. First woman in history to enter the men's Rumble.
But did she kiss the great Khali out of the match?
But if it hadn't been for China, you wouldn't have got Beth Phoenix in there. So
That is true. That is true.
And the card I've gone for, 2020 Women's Division, insert Breaking Barriers. So it's literally the Rumble entrance. She's walking into the Rumble. Cool. Classic China, you know. The insert set isn't just her of Breaking Barriers. There's others in there like Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax and stuff. But yeah. Number 2, I've gone for the New Day Triple Auto from Topps 2021 Finest. There's quite a lot of New Day Triple Autos out there, but when I'm looking at them all, I think this is the most shiny. So yeah, I chose a shiny one. But literally all of the New Day, as I said, have entered at this spot, so they all get on there for this one. Yeah. And then number 1, he entered at 17 in 1992, but he won the Rumble in 1988, the first ever winner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So the card I've gone for, thank you. Card I've gone for is, do you guys know the playing cards? You know, those playing cards from the 80s. So the playing card is from 1988, the year he won. And he is the number 4 on the set. So 4 of clubs, 2x4. It's all tied in. But yeah, so that's who I've gone for my number 1.
Okay. I just watched that Rumble on Friday night.
I watched it too.
And I didn't know he won.
Oh, really?
Because I just never, like the late 80s, early 90s stuff, I never really watched. So I'm actually starting to go back to do it now. And I'm like, fucking hacksaw one. Oh, all right. I just like did not care.
That was the state of the nation back then.
Wow, all
sadly.
right. Here we are.
All right, we'll move over then to Trav.
My number 5, which is number 1 in all.
Well, no, you need to say.
My bad. You're right. I'm jumping the gun.
Gender and entrance number.
I have the men, and my entrant number is 29.
Fucking hell. Typical, innit?
Yeah. Yep. Like Chris, had a decent list. Really some big names to choose from. A lot of double winners. So
Must be nice.
of everybody, I was like, I think I probably got the best. Like the wheel was kind for once.
Yeah.
But if I was on a break, like the wheel would not. Johnny, I'd be where you are. I've never done well with a wheel on a break. So my number 5, like I said, it's my number 5, but it is number 1 in all of our hearts, is the 2023 AEW Match Dated Moments from World's End, number 29. Samoa Joe defeats MJF.
Wow.
Because it's a silver. Because even Joe's biggest accomplishment is a silver parallel.
What's that got to do with Royal Rumble?
He was number 29
Okay. He's number
in
29.
the 2020 Royal Rumble.
That's fair enough. Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you that right now.
My mind went there. Okay. Well done.
I know he's going to lose to Booker, and I'm okay with that. I lucked out. This is a timed pick. My number 4 is from the 1991 Merlin set. It's the Undertaker rookie, in quotes. Card 103 is one of my favorite pictures of the Undertaker. He's in his purple. He's in his jacket, his hat. He's got both hands on top of a casket where you've got the floral arrangement. Like, it's just a great looking early Undertaker card. With it being, I don't know, we can say true rookie, but 91, just, it looks better than anything Classic put out at the time. And like, when I think Undertaker, like, I think of just being terrified of him as a kid. And that's my pick for Undertaker. I
think German and Italy, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. German and Italy.
German and Italy.
German, Italy, and English.
Okay.
My number 3 is the 2023 Prism Superstar Auto red color match of Seth Rollins. He's in his red gear. He's got the red wings. After seeing someone pull that in a group or online and showing, like, I'm not the biggest Seth fan, but like, I love that Seth. I love that he's in all red. I love that the card is red, and it's just like, just a good looking, like, Seth card that really isn't all that expensive. Number 2 is another recent card out of 2023 Revolution. One Randall K. Orton Kaboom. The pose, the way that the Kaboom goes behind between the arms, like, it's just a beautiful, beautiful card. Don't have it, want to have it, but like, just a great card.
I have an affinity for Randy cards, to be honest. I have a bit of a PC of Randy.
Same, yeah.
I've started looking at some more of his stuff recently. Like, he's kind of all over the board, either really, really cheap or really high. But he's got a lot of stuff out there, from Fleer and Topps and Panini. He's got a good amount out there. And then
he's
my number one.
Sorry.
Probably number one in my heart, but I think this card, when it came out this year, it's a subliminal card, but the 2023 Select Mezzanine Triple H in any color variation. That's Triple H on the throne, on the crown. He's in his Skull King. And then we also get little cameos of Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, and good old Sasha. The only second time that's ever had a card. Topps had one years ago that people will argue that they are Charlotte and Alexa and Sasha's rookie because they do make an appearance on the card. But seeing that picture from the ramp and seeing all of them there, Triple H looking, we'll take a line from Ric Flair. Only as Triple H can look. Like, it just is it was a cool WrestleMania moment. And a cool horizontal card. And you can't say that about a lot of horizontal cards in today's hobby.
It was very well staged, that card. Better than the original card, to be honest.
Yeah, because the original was like at a weird angle, and you saw maybe like half of Alexa's face or like with the mask, and then like...
It's very cool. It is very cool. Okay. Well, let's make a 5. Countdown clock. And we're back.
It's so weird without music.
Quick one. Countdown clock for these guys.
Johnny!
Doesn't really make sense, does it? No.
Yeah.
It's from a TV game show.
Yeah, the clock is the TV game show, basically. So it's we've grown up with it. In fact, actually, my boy does actually love Countdown.
Yeah. Just for the clock.
No, he watches the whole show.
Does he do the maths problems? He's sitting there with a pen and paper.
He loves his numbers. Honestly, he's great. I think to be honest, he probably likes Rachel Riley.
No, don't blame him. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where are we going? Who's going to go first?
We've got almost like a blood feud between Joe and Booker T for number 5. I mean, Booker T has to be number 5, but
Booker T has to
Johnny, are you sure you don't want Samoa Joe at number 5?
Yeah, I'm very good with keeping Booker T in his spot.
Cool.
Okay. Are you actually writing this down, Chris? Because have you written down the rest of the shows that we've done since Christmas? Because
no, that's Jamie's. That's Jamie's job.
Yeah, no. We
I haven't.
We need to.
In all honesty,
no, we need to.
Why break the habit of a lifetime?
Let's get a spreadsheet together internally without Jamie about it. Okay, Booker T number 5.
Cool. Where's your heads at, guys? What are you thinking?
I think the New Day triple auto. I think it's cool because you've got all 3 of them. So we're getting 3 entrants and an auto and a shiny. Like, I think that would be a good.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 4.
Number 4.
So I would have personally put Johnny's mass auto selection at number 4 and the New Day 3.
Yeah.
I think to get an entrant, like one from every one of ours, just like as part of the list, and then obviously someone will have 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it either. Having the TNA card as the 4.
Yeah.
The triple auto as the 3.
3 and 3.
But What's 2
and then
and
2 and 1.
So I think 1 should be the Triple H card, but 2, I'd have the Kane card.
I really like
So
the
I
Kane
had-
color match.
Not Dolph.
I had Kane as the 2 because of
Okay,
his massive run in the in history.
Mhm.
And I actually had the Orton Kaboom as the 1.
Ooh. I can have the one Kaboom as the one.
Yeah, I like
I-
the Kaboom.
I think
That
I like
card
the Orton Kaboom. Like I said, the Triple H has more sentimental value, but like when you look at that Orton Kaboom, it's just like
That's Randy Orton.
Mm.
That's him. It's
like it fits the card, it fits him. Like it's just a beautiful, beautiful card.
The only thing I just don't get is Kabooms. The reason being is because obviously the ones that we've had aren't numbered and they're pretty much case hits, right? They're not anything else but case hits. But the prices that they're going for just being case hits is just insane. Because, like, what's the difference between that and a zebra?
It's a
to come out
Kaboom.
of a
It's-
collect?
what the
That's the
influencers
thing,
think
but
is the card you should have.
Mm.
Which I
Yeah.
get, but ultimately it's still only a case hit, an unnumbered case hit. You know what I mean? It's just for
I
me,
do
it
think
just
Panini
baffles
dropped the ball on
frig out of me, to be
WWE
honest.
with that by not making it numbered. And because I remember prior
Yeah.
to it being released, like people were Kaboom hunting. Like, hey, I want to find this, I want to find this, and then
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
it's like, well, they put the Rock Kaboom out. That was the promo. Like, of course I need this. Like, and then
They sure printed that. I've hardly seen. I know Gelman had one, but I've hardly seen anyone pull a rock
it's
out of a Kaboom. I'm sure they did. I've seen a lot of everyone else, to be honest. A lot of Andres. A lot of
Rock is definitely the least amount you see.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Hogan. Like I know
So-
Hogan and
See a
Cody
lot.
are real popular, but I've seen
And,
a lot of Hogan.
Liv Morgan as well, I seem to see all the time.
Yeah.
Like people selling it on Facebook groups and stuff.
Yeah. It's like with the colour wheel. I saw loads of Shawn Michaels colour wheels and stuff like that, but not necessarily. But I suppose it's what you open, isn't it? You know what I mean? So, but okay, cool. So we're locked in. Chris, do you want to run it down?
Booker T number 5. Number
Yep.
4 was the TNA multi-auto Mickey James.
Yep.
Number 3 was the New Day shiny triple.
Yep.
Number 2 was the red T-Mall Kane snapshots. And then
Yes.
number 1 was the Orton Kaboom.
Yeah.
Boom. That's a
Cool.
nice lot of cards there.
Me likey. Well done, lads. Well done. I didn't know how that segment was going to work, but I think we pulled it out of the bag.
Yeah.
Sorry, Johnny, for getting the women. And
No, it was fun.
the thing is, you could have had a better number with the women. That's the only thing. You know what I mean? With the men, you can have a low number, but you still might hit some gold there. It's just weird, isn't it? But okay. Look, we'll probably do the same next year for a laugh. Why not? If it works, it works. Okay, cool. So I think we're near the end of the show.
Mm.
We all good? Anything else anyone wants to cover before we skip off? Okay.
Check out John Thurman. I know he started a thing this year. Yeah, he's personal friend of show friend. He's got a new
absolutely.
thing this year doing an Oscar a day. Hopefully it keeps the doctor away. But I'm just kidding. That's horrible. But no, he's started that this year. So I want to give a shout out to him. And if anybody hasn't
John,
seen him
man.
on social media.
Yeah.
Okay. Trav, do you want to do your socials?
Yeah. See me on X, T Fowler 1, Instagram. I get as many DMs on Instagram as El Presidente, so T Fowler 81. I post some cards here and there, some finds, some breaks, and that's about it. Sees my kids. Proud dad. Basketball season's coming up. Started that last Saturday. Whew. It's going to be a crazy end of winter going into spring.
Okay. All right. Now.
All right.
All right.
Let's see.
Go on, John.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Car Foundation Podcast is the podcast that I currently co-host. New episodes each Thursday. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We are talking about a lot of the same things on this show. So if you're a fan of this show, you may be a fan of that. It's how I met all these guys, and now we're all all over the world and friends. It's really it's been great. We're on Instagram, Filth Bomb Wrestling. That's kind of like where the main content is coming on in social media at this point. I'm not really a part of it on Instagram. I don't really do too much of that stuff. So, but we're putting out, reels and stuff like that. So definitely follow along there. And yeah, happy to be part of this show. I've been a day one listener, and 42 episodes in now, I finally got to have the full experience. I got to say, sorry, Margaret. Got to do the whole thing. I'm pumped about that. I'm just bummed that I'm not going to have anything to listen to next week because I already know what the show is. So it's like that's one show out of the rotation now. I'm just like, fuck, I got to find something else to listen to now.
Now, what am I going to do now? I'm not going to re-listen to myself speak.
I never do. I've never listened to a single CFP episode in my life. Once it's done, it's done.
It's done.
It's in the ether. We're done. We're never listening to it again.
Nope, that's it.
Funny,
so, yeah, but again, thanks guys. This is on my bucket list for podcasts. So
Nice.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers, man. Cheers for coming on. We honestly appreciate it. We did. So Chris was like, should we get Graham on as well? I was like, no. But in the back of my head, I gave you some bullshit thing. In the back of my head, I just wanted to do the running with, because if there's four of us, we can do the running, right? So I was like, that I had that in my mind. So sorry, Chris.
Plus, Graham's Canadian, and it really wouldn't have made much sense.
Yeah,
we've got to have Graham and Gordo on at the same time as well, haven't we? Over Dave's dead body.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, we've talked about it. Like, if they both want to come on the show, fantastic. Just when I'm off, let me go on a holiday and they can come on. Yeah, there you go. It's all good.
Lloydy goes to the Caribbean.
Go on. Yeah, go on, Chris.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for coming on, guys. It's been really fun. And yeah, catch me on YouTube, Cambridge Trading Cards, and WCA as well. But yeah, it just surpassed 430. I'm on 436 subscribers now. I'm starting to get some traction going here. So yeah, just the last video out was my Slam Attacks 1 of 1 poll, which was Charlotte Flair. On the last episode, I didn't say what it was. I just showed Jamie and Dave. But yeah, Charlotte Flair 1 of 1. I was very happy with that.
Very cool.
I don't really have much else to break at the moment. So I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm in bed. I'm smoking a cigarette. I've just pulled a 1 of 1. I'm done for a little while. This happened last time. I pulled a 1 of 1. It's kind of like I do that and then I'm like, right, I'm good for a couple of weeks at least. But no, so I'm hoping to break the new AEW product soon. Just booked to go to a card show, so I'm hoping to pick up some sealed wax at the card show as well. But yeah, that's about it.
You're going to come to the one in Milton Keynes?
No, I'm going to go to the one in Southampton again. When is the Milton Keynes show?
March.
I
think end of March, I think it is.
Oh, I might do then, because this one's at the beginning of March. But I've done it differently this time.
Over. We'll have a bovril.
I've booked a hotel. I'm sorted. So yeah, no more getting up at 5 a.m. and driving for like 7 hours. Makes sense. Yeah. But yeah.
Cool. All right. So where do I start? So if you like this episode, you can go and listen to 41 of our other episodes, plus specials and God knows what else we've done. Please, anywhere you download stuff into your ears, that's where you will find us. We're also on Instagram. We're also on X. It's not Twitter anymore. X. So that's SCR Pod. I always get it the fucking wrong way around, but it's SCR Pod. And just Squared Circle Relics Podcast on Instagram. We're also on Facebook as well. So if you type in Squared Circle Relics Podcast into Facebook, you'll find us. You just need to ask to join, and we'll let you in. If
maybe
you're not a cunt. So that'll be fun. We're also the four of us. We have another two of us as well. We have Jamie and Graham, and we make up the Wrestling Card Alliance, the WCA. I'm really good with acronyms. Great. And we do this thing called the Run-In. I've said it earlier on in the pod, so please go over, if you've got some free time, please go over to the YouTubes, type in Wrestling Card Alliance, and you'll find our show. We have 6 episodes so far. We have more coming, a lot more content coming in the future. Would be great to have you on board. Please like and subscribe. Anything that you watch, that would help us a million. And I think that's about it. Well, I'm also D_Lloydy boy on Instagram. Chris is looking at me with
someone messaged
someone did message me this week. Well, about a week and a half ago now. So yes, but it was a listener of the show that
doesn't
we know.
count.
Yeah, Adam Anwar,
and he should know better.
he just you were fuming. He just had hello, and I said hello, and then I said I love you, and he put back I love you too. So there you
I'll
go.
let him off. That's fine.
I'm sure we'll have him on the show one time. Actually, he's a comedian touring the I think the northern side of the UK. But yeah, he's a very funny guy. We've watched him on the interwebs, and he's a very funny guy. And I'd love to go and see him live one time.
That's a good shout.
If we can do a night out up north, that'd be quite good.
Not too far up though.
Not
Nottingham or something. I don't know.
You get to see Drunk Dave. You like Drunk Dave.
Drunk Dave's brilliant.
Good times. So, okay, I think that's it. So, let's get out of here. Everyone say goodbye.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye,
guys.
Bye. Go on, Johnny, say it.
And fuck John Cena.